On the left side of your screen, we have Steven with Grixis Delver. Slightly different build than what we're used to seeing, I would say. And on the right, on Dreadnought, is Everin once again. And starting the game with a Meticulous Archive, left the card on top. Flooded Strand gets cracked, Dragon's Ray's Channeler.
What phase are we in? Only a camping counter. I have 6 cards.
It's in there.
Bobble, you got it.
Mishra's Bobble, Surveil.
There, and I'll bobble you. Okay.
Look like a wasteland on top of the library. Pass the turn.
I'll waste the bulk, and then I'll plow the Darcy.
On the battlefield, 2 damage.
Pretty good.
Dragon's Ray's Channeler gets swords after the wasteland. ES Doubt, thank you for the sub with Prime. Appreciate that.
Can you read that? Ponder. You got it.
Underground Sea to follow up. Ponder. Ponder Shuffle. Yeah, this is Maestros Delver, but we have a lot of people watching that are obsessed with the Alara block sets, if you can believe it.
You're good. Good.
That's all they talk about. We're never going back. Get over it. Scalding Tarn, pass. Flooded Strand gets cracked.
19.
Char Twin, thank you for the sub with Prime. 46 months. 46 months. Wow. Dress Down. Now, I wonder if Steven knows what he's up against here.
Sure. Drop? Yes. Move to my turn? Yeah. Dreadnought? Yeah. Dreadnought?
I'll respond to that.
Okay, and the second Phyrexian Dreadnought is going to get responded to. And it gets dazed. So only one Dreadnought. Dress Down goes away. Fatal Push. So no threats on the board.
Ponder again? You got it.
That was a pretty good Fatal Push right there. Ponder again.
The Darcy deck.
Yeah, right? Dude, I came here to kill frogs tonight.
I was definitely not expecting Delver to have an answer to my Dreadnought.
Romario pointing out major flavor fail. How do you even push a Dreadnought to death? Yeah. I don't know. Ever since the Weatherlight set, this game has been going really downhill fast.
Go ahead.
What strategy? I haven't.
Just felt like the Weatherlight set didn't have good designs, you know?
Yeah.
Good boy.
Okay, that is Necrogoyf or Nethergoyf or something. What is this card called again? Nethergoyf. Its power is equal to the number of types in the yard.
Move to my turn? Sure.
It's a Doorkeeper Thrall on the battlefield now.
This look good.
The 4 and white border tundras are beautiful.
Underappreciated. 4 and white border.
The I think the color saturation on them is so nice compared to the American ones.
Wow. All right, so here's Null Drifter. Draw 2 on the stack.
I'll respond.
Pitch. Yep. Win to see our boy Orc Spellmaster.
No, I can get a Vulcan.
Oh, Unholy Heat?
Unholy Heat on Doorkeeper Thrall in response. Force pitching Force. On that, trying to save the Doorkeeper Thrall so Null Drifter can live. Let's see how that goes.
18. 17. 1 fetch, 2 fetch, 3 force. You got it. 17.
Force of will. Resolves. Yeah.
Null Drifter triggered the draw trigger,
Carry on. Yeah.
and then this resolves.
Yeah.
All right, Null Drifter is in. No evoke sacrifice because of Doorkeeper Thrall. Past the turn. So Modern Horizons 3, everybody. How many types are in Steven's yard? Looks like instant, artifact, land, sorcery. 4 types. Steven now has to figure out how to beat a Null Drifter, but has a 4 power creature of his own. The Null Drifter has Flying and Annihilator 1, though, which is really good. Psychic Frog. Every freaking game now we got to play with Modern Horizons 3, right, everybody? They should put they should put Psychic Frog on the watch list.
Yeah, neither of us in this line.
Feed the frog.
What?
Discarding. Oh, what is this card called again?
Enchanted creature is 2/2 flying and haste. Perfect. And then the frog reads.
I'm gonna. So this is in the yard. Then I'm gonna feed this to the frog.
Yep. And you're gonna give it flying.
That's 6.
It is called Detectives Phoenix. Detectives Phoenix from MH3.
Sure.
Flying Haste, Bestow for red and collect evidence 6. Enchanted creature get +2/+2 with Flying and Haste. You may cast Detectives Phoenix from your graveyard using its Bestow ability.
13.
Okay, 16.
And it's a 2/2 on its own. But the Psychic Frog, 4/4 Flying Haste now. Bestowed, enchanted by, I should say, Detectives Phoenix. Here's a Brainstorm for Everin. Really cool. First time seeing the Phoenix on screen. I think it's the first time seeing Nethergoyf on stream as well.
So what happens when I plow the frog? Because I'm gonna plow the frog here.
Yeah, I'll just have a 2/2.
And you just get the 2/2? And what does a 2/2 read?
My bad.
Yeah, so if you kill the creature that the aura is attached to, that is a bestowed aura, the enchantment creature sticks around, turns back into a creature, and the creature it was enchanting is gone. So now Steven just has a 2/2 flyer. Source of Plowshares.
And it's a 2/2? I will swing with the Null Drifter, Annihilator 1 trigger.
Annihilator 1. We did not collect Decklists at this event, but occasionally we'll see Steven hanging out in our Discord server, so maybe that's a place we can eventually get a hold of it. Sacrificing Underground Sea.
20?
Yeah, 2013.
2013. I'm gonna pass, and on your upkeep,
Yeah.
I'm gonna crack here.
Go to 12.
And I'm going to dress down.
Okay.
And then I'll trigger dress down and draw a card.
In your
Oh. I saw the second card. Shuffle. You okay?
Judge.
I receive some of this.
It's casual and it doesn't matter, says Steven. Wow. It's not what I would do.
Draw a card from dress down. Sure. Good.
All right, pass the turn. The Goyf will not die. It has +1 toughness. So there's a dress down now on the board. This Null Drifter is a problem. Ponder.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, usually we get card text for cards up on the screen, but today we don't have MTG bot working in the chat, unfortunately, so we haven't been able to do that. Sorry, folks. Someone fixed the freaking bot. It's exhausting. Murktide Regents. All right, that's pretty good. Yes, I usually know the players' records for these matches. Both of these players right now are 3-0 and 2-1, I believe. But we're consistently following the top tables, and the paperwork to keep track of everybody's record and then put it on the stream and everything. It just doesn't really feel worth the effort, to be honest.
Part of the ability of Murktide, so that's why it gets affected.
That was a really nice way of saying nobody cares.
It's not a triggered ability, but dress down specifically does because it comes in as a 3/3 vanilla. You still get your delve.
Oh, yeah, creatures lose all abilities. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've done that better. Well, here we are.
Okay, so this Murktide will not get +1/+1 encounters because of dress down. Everyone pointing that out. Daze on the Murktide too. Ouch.
On board. But just so you know the interaction.
Thank you. Yes, you.
All right, so a missed interaction there. I wasn't even focused on that, but the dress down makes the Murktide not gain +1/+1 encounters. And the dress down should be gone now.
Sure. You have 2 in hand?
Yeah. Cool. And you know I have the meticulous archive from the days.
19. Yeah. That's what you have 2. Perfect.
I mean, I thought about bringing in these, but I mean, it would be.
I just won't cut from here on out. I trust you.
Yo, this is meticulous archive surveil trigger. Sure.
Kind of like in game 2, like you play the ape and then you can't even really attack.
That's in the yard.
Lose a race kind of thing. Surveil resolving here from Meticulous Archive. Force of Will into the graveyard.
Good.
That feels like combo-y, just like you fill up the graveyard so fast and like make it. So it looks like the Nethergoyf now has 5 power. Null Drifter stayed back on defense. Everyone's life total getting a little low.
Kind of like old school regular where you just snipe.
Detective's Phoenix is a 2/2. Attack with the Goyf.
Dress down.
Uh-oh. Dress down.
Trigger. Move the blocks.
All right, so able to profitably block the Nethergoyf. It can escape, potentially. But that would probably lower its power a bit.
18.
Yeah. I knew that, like, if I could get this guy to be on board.
Yeah, I usually just take out some number of chalice and bring in full swords.
Yeah, that was my pretty
Rather than have sword splasher.
Okay, we're escaping the Goyf.
Exile 4 card types.
Yep.
He'll eventually be a 3/4.
Yeah.
Cast you.
All right, the Nether Goyf is back. It is a 3/4. Dress down goes away.
Plunder?
Yeah, no hand.
Steven is currently hellbent.
No, you need it.
I was like, I'm gonna go.
I want it for frogs. and trolls.
And that ties in bombers.
Yes. You guys run a mirror? Yeah. Is that a match? No, that's one. Oh, okay. You guys can
Draw from Ponder?
Sure. No, we're both like, this deck feels really strong.
Oh, the energy on combo, yeah.
Move to attacks. Annihilator 1 trigger.
Okay, attacking. Annihilator 1 trigger. Gonna sack a volcanic island, it looks like. Maybe.
So they just said no one's gonna fight. So yeah. I'll follow you, babe.
No blocks.
14. Go ahead.
All right, passing the turn. Null Drifter doing some damage.
Come in for 5.
Only 10 of his 15 cyber cards are
He's
sleep.
5.
Okay.
5.
$15 fine.
One sec. Before we get that far, I've got 4 damage. I'm gonna blow you.
That's fine.
So you got a 7, and then it's 1 more from the goal.
So I go to 7, and then I take 5.
And so
You
now
take 6 and
they
go to
just
1.
they never
Go
sleep.
to 1. All right.
They're sad.
All right, Everin down to 1. Doorkeeper Thrall gets flashed in. Steven's at a healthy 14 life right now. Needs a way to beat... Uh-oh, is this going to be a Murktide?
Seems good.
I can't fetch. It's kind of a disaster for the boy right now.
Okay, 8/8 Murktide. That'll play some pretty good defense. Doorkeeper Thrall also flies and can play defense.
Today.
Cool.
Steven's hellbent, which is bad news.
That is haste, right, or no? Does it haste? And how do you cast it?
Cast
Like
it from the
evidence
graveyard.
6.
Plus bestow cost if I have, and I don't have 6 right now.
I'll move to attacks to the Null Drifter. Trigger Annihilator 1.
Okay, so Annihilator 1 is on the stack, attacking with only Null Drifter.
You're at 10.
I got a 10.
Go ahead.
Yes, the Murktide does still get counters with Thrall in play. It's not an ETB ability. It's just like it's different than not having any abilities. The attacking creature was Null Drifter on Everin's side. Steven's creatures are Nether Goyf and Detective's Phoenix, both from Modern Horizons 3.
Move to attacks. Swing with the Null Drifter, Annihilator 1.
At least 3.
Sacking the Misty Rainforest.
So
I'll just take it.
6.
Yep.
Go ahead.
So they made it super, right?
Yep.
So now it's completely closed. It was like they opened the floodgates for like 4 hours and then it died.
This is close.
Yeah, when they like made it so all league data was And so
He doesn't
the
have flying,
sudden
right?
I challenge
Correct.
straight up physical.
And you're at 6.
And those two counter
So attack with.
targets. So it's like much, and so then they gotta have so they still have all.
Everyone has to be worried about a bolt on top of the library.
Go ahead.
So it's like more.
You're at 2.
But
I'm inside the store.
Go ahead.
like you either try to go either obviously or you just eventually just you're not playing any creature two drops is the thing, but I guess you're just trying to like either get in there with your either.
Spell Pierce on Brainstorm, pass the turn.
You're at 2. 1 flyer. So with everything.
All right, we're going to game 2. Everyone up a game.
Your card is in my hand.
All right, players appear to be having fun. Steven will be on the play here for game 2, and we have life totals on the table as well, which is great.
As well.
Dragon's Rage Channeler.
Always has it.
Go.
Yeah.
19.
Gotta learn how this screen works.
Oh shit, yeah, good call.
And pass to you.
All right, Dragon's Rage Channeler gets in for a damage. Pass the turn. We've seen these Dreadnought decks drop a dress down and then drop some Dreadnoughts on people on today's stream. It happened earlier to me. Scary.
Wastelandia.
Oh, yeah.
Take it. 17.
17?
18.
Yeah, just 18. Cast to you.
Go.
Basic planes. Pass the turn.
Oh, yeah.
No cards in the graveyard. No Delirium. Just a lot of passing the turn going on. Everyone's going to fetch on end step.
You got the Stifle. Alright, no Stifle. Island. I'm going to cast my boy Dress Down.
Okay, we're going for dress down.
Spawned.
I was hoping you would.
With a crack.
You got it.
It's fine.
Trigger, draw a card?
Yeah.
Okay, dress down resolves, draw a card. Let's see if we got some Dreadnoughts or Null Drifter or something.
Oh, crack.
15.
Okay, that one's a snow-covered island, it looks like. I believe so. Stop making so many versions of the basic lands. I can't memorize them all. Null Drifter.
Yeah.
Draw 2?
Sure.
Null Drifter on the stack.
That happens.
Crack.
14.
Okay, so Null Drifter is apparently on the stack. We're cracking a fetch.
Phyrexian Dreadnought.
Oh, okay, it was no longer on the stack. Here's Phyrexian Dreadnought to follow up.
Blue to my end step. Dress down trigger on the stack.
Yeah. Go ahead and that can go. And now push the Dreadnought. Trigger Surveil.
Okay, Fatal Push, Surveil. And Force Pitching Ponder. Resolving the Surveil now.
And it lands, which means second cross.
Go ahead.
Okay, Cervelle left the card on top. Might be another way to remove this Dreadnought. Annihilator 1 on the Null Drifter is also really annoying. Fatal Push on the Dreadnought. Cervelle. The other creature on Evren's board is Null Drifter from MH3.
It's very good. I just frogs helping me out. My listeners.
Null Drifter, hard to Fatal Push, hard to Bolt. 4/4 with 7 mana value. Okay, Petty Theft on Null Drifter. Its draw 2 is a cast trigger, so I mean, usually you're not trying to bounce it to your opponent's hand, but wasting Tundra here.
What?
At least now, if Evren tries to evoke, it will possibly, without a stifle, go to the graveyard. Brazen Borrower is on an adventure.
Kind of a shitty one, but it'll do.
Looks like we're thinking about a Murktide.
With one counter. Is bigger than a 3/3. One counter.
All right, 4/4 Murktide hits. Pass the turn. Also, because of Devoid, you can't Pyroblast Null Drifter. Four 4 Murktide, no Delirium yet for Steven, just 2 types in the yard.
Yeah, I'll ponder.
I'm fine.
Drop it. Cards in hand? 4.
And try and race this DRC. Attack it for 4.
Go ahead.
Well, currently we don't have Delirium, but we know that there's a Brazen Borrower in exile, and Delirium could come pretty fast. Doorkeeper Thrall flashed in now, and then a Daze.
Go ahead.
3 types in the graveyard now. If the 4th type is found, Dragon's Rage Channeler will have no choice but to attack.
No, I'm saying for lands. Because typically, like, maybe if they're on, like, swords or trigger machine.
Bolt the Doorkeeper Thrall. Surveil. Doorkeeper Thrall is gone. Found the 4th type.
You got it. Instant creature, land, sorcery. 1, 2, 3.
But it's like, I don't know. It just feels. I like Harvard. Thank God it's not too colorless.
Ooh, Psychic Frog. Pretty good.
Turn, I'll dress down. Trigger, draw a card.
Okay, dress down on end step. Scary. We know about a Null Drifter in hand, which is pretty good right now. It was bounced earlier by Petty Theft.
Null Drifter, trigger, cast, trigger, draw 2.
All right, Null Drifter, draw 2. Pretty good.
In my end step, this trigger on the stack, kill it. Go ahead.
All right, everybody staying back on defense, protecting that 9 life points. 4/4 Murktide, 4/4 Null Drifter. Up against a Psychic Frog and Dragon's Rage Channeler. Delirium is on, so the Dragon's Rage Channeler will have to attack, but Psychic Frog can shut it off. If Steven wants. Okay, Unholy Heat with Delirium on, trigger, Surveil. Pretty good Unholy Heat.
It's just a wall as well. Just like, oh, you've got cards in hand and start in your graveyard.
Now a Dismember going after Murktide. Could potentially clear the board here. AP says I'm really hyped on Blue-White Dreadnought right now, but only the spreadsheets can really tell me how I feel about the deck. Yeah, to hell with the spreadsheets, AP. To hell with the spreadsheets. All right, 4 damage gets in. Steven draws a card.
It was good. I'm surprised we lost to the tempo decks like Wasteland kind of hated it, but
You were missing 2 cards. Like you had
we did good.
Doorkeeper Thrall?
So we'll see.
Doorkeeper Thrall flashed in. The spreadsheet says I can't have fun until August.
delirium type, and then you would have
No legacy until August, says the spreadsheets.
somebody will find like the list.
Screw that. Null Drifter.
Essentially, we're like combos, like 4 men on turn 3, 6 men on turn 3, but like 2 men on turn 3. It was a slow deck. But now you can go 4 on turn 2 pretty consistently, so you get like Card in the raid, and it's got Bobble and Food. It was a combo, like 2 things just eat it up. Now you just like put the food on Doomsday if you want.
We might have to put Null Drifter on the watch list, right?
It's like tier 2 or so. Soul type being
You know what, Audrey? Uninstall. That is my advice to you. Uninstall. Be rid of that forever.
permanently stop them.
Bolt on the Doorkeeper Thrall. Trying to prevent this Null Drifter from becoming a 4/4 on the board. This is close.
No brainstorm response.
Have a little combos now and then, you know. I find a matchup next one to fail round 1, you know. Plus
Trigger's still on the stack.
Yeah.
Still a Surveil.
Blue Elite Blast, the Lightning Bolt.
Blue Elemental Blast on the red. On the. I was gonna say red bolt. It is red, but it's just a lightning bolt.
And then the draw trigger still on this guy.
Okay.
Draw 2? Yeah, do your delirium trigger. Draw trigger.
All right, so another Netherglyph into the graveyard could potentially escape that later. Not too bad. It looks like now the Null Drifter will stick. Fetching going down to 4.
Just judging from the board state, it looks like the wrong side. Yeah, both of you drew your.
This is going to be so close. Psychic Frog is still just a 1/2. No puzzle counters on it yet.
Yep.
Okay, Mishra's Bauble, Surveil. Mishra's Bauble into the graveyard. Don't need that.
Brainstorm trigger?
Yep.
Might be looking for lightning bolts. Or Unholy Heat. We already saw an Unholy Heat in this game. I'm not sure. It's likely there's another one.
Brainstorm trigger. Yeah.
Another Brainstorm. Molten Collapse, not too bad. Defeat the Null Drifter, mill a land into the graveyard. Okay. Okay.
Go to combat.
Yep.
Sweet.
That's a 1/2, right?
Yeah, that's a 1/2, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You take 3.
Dragon's Rage Chandler gets through for 3 damage. Mishra's Bauble sees a Ponder on top of the deck. Pass the turn. Draw off the Bauble.
Let's see what we can do. Null Drifter? Draw 2?
Seems good.
All right, another Null Drifter. Draw 2. Seems good.
Phyrexian Dreadnought?
Seems good.
Okay, Phyrexian Dreadnought. Uh-oh. So, Everin now has 2 flyers on the board, the Doorkeeper Thrall and Null Drifter. Delirium is on, so Dragon's Rage Chandler will have to attack. Unless Psychic Frog cleans out the graveyard. Everin's at 1 life, though. Can Steven close this out? Okay, there's Detective's Phoenix again. 2/2 flyer with haste. Giving the Psychic Frog flying now could win the game.
Pretty good.
It's like we were just calling like that. Pretty much everyone here is just equally.
It's fine.
Tempting to give Psychic Frog flying.
No.
Double swords, all right. Dreadnought gets it. There's the handshake. GG's. Dreadnought, everybody. Wow.